Heartfelt, thank you so much. Over 7 years ago, here's the good news. Look here on this table. Over 7 years ago, Jeff Marcereau met me and suggested that I think about a show on WJR to talk about our work. I remember the first show because I was nervous as a cat, walking into Detroit's version of what I call the Taj Mahal, the Fisher Building downtown. The ceilings, the murals, the marble floors, the pillars, everything was surreal to me. And here I come to try to change the conversation about food insecurity across Michigan. And over 7 years, I think we can with confidence say we've done that and a bit more. If you saw the spreadsheet of our guests over the 7 years, then you would probably want to grab Jeff's sales team and work overtime with them because they're amazing. Let me give you an example. The sitting governor came on our show about a month after she announced her candidacy. She sat in the studio with Jerry Brisson and myself, and organically we hatched the idea of the Food Security Council. When we finished the show, I walked her out and I said, hey, if you're serious about this, I'll write you a concept paper about it. She said, I'm serious, write it. I wrote it, I sent it to her, and a month before the election, she put it into her health policy. A year into the administration, she kept her word, and she asked me to chair Michigan's first Food Security Council. The report that came out from the Food Security Council has been funded across 6 or 7 of those recommendations and projects. It has served as a guide to other states across the U.S. I just finished talking a couple of weeks ago to the University of Tennessee about how they can start their own Food Security Council, and I told them this story about Governor Whitmer being a guest on our show when she was a candidate. And I can't tell you any better of an example of the power and the reach and the influence of this show. Sunday nights, 9 p.m., shameless plug here. And it's also a podcast called Food First Michigan, and if you're not listening, then you're just... No, I'm not going to say that. You're missing out. Somebody would ask us often, how can you do a show on food security every week? We've been doing it 7 years, you do the math, and we haven't run out of things to talk about around this issue yet. All of this to say, none of this would have happened without the vision of Jeff Marcereau. And I think if you look at the impact of MASS and the number of people who've been on the show, and you look at our other programs that we've talked about, and you see the power this show has had, it is my honor, my privilege, to share an award, our highest award at the Food Bank Council, to my friend and our partner, Jeff Marcereau. Jeff, please come. This award is a hunger-free Michigan, and we long for that day, and we'll work together until it's here.
Believe it or not, I had no idea this was happening. When Dr. Phil says show up somewhere, you show up. And he said, I really want you to come to this reception tonight. I think it'd be a good thing for you to see, so if you could make it, it'd be great. So I'm like, yeah, you got it, I'll be there. Then I walk in, and all of a sudden I have people walking up, hey, that's Jeff, that's the guy. I'm like, what? I had no idea. So then he said, I did this on purpose to keep you speechless. Because anybody who knows me knows I'm not at a loss for words. That said, I did take the last hour to write a speech. I'm going to keep it short because he did say there's a hard stop at 5:30, although it's 5:42, so we'll see. But for more than 100 years, the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR, has been focused on supporting needs of the community. As a media partner with Say Detroit, which is the Mitch Albom charity, the Salvation Army, the March of Dimes, Sparky Anderson's Catch for Kids, the Lindsay Foundation for Autism, of course, Hunger Free and the D, which is a big one we do in the fall, and others, we've raised more than $5 million on an annual basis. This year, we're honored to say we're going to be adding a hunger-free summer campaign, and we're going to be partnering with Kroger and I believe with Gleaners as well, and looking forward to continuing to get that story out about the importance of food security throughout the state of Michigan. We're honored and privileged to provide Phil and the Food Bank Council of Michigan, Jerry Brisson as well, who I know is your partner in crime, a 50,000 watt voice for Food First, which you can hear every Sunday at 9 p.m. on the great voice of the Great Lakes. Another shameless plug. By the way, we do air it in additional times whenever we have open slots because the content not only is that good, but it's also very important for the community to know. It's been a fast 7 years. We're looking forward to keeping the importance of food security and at front and center for more years to come. And as Phil reminds me regularly, when you're hungry, nothing else matters. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate the honor.